believes that that record would have been broken if there were no breaks in this game, because it feels as if his momentum was stunted by the fact that he had to go off after 5 legs and 10 legs. He's got a really good point, but the thing is, it looked like he had a point to prove up there tonight. Poor Ryan Searle, he played so well in that game, and he barely got a dart at a double. But Littler was fantastic. He is through to the next round, and whoever faces him in the coming days, watch out, because Littler, when he's motivated, is a completely different beast.
Well, it's Jermaine Wattimena that will take on Littler in round 2. But earlier today, wins for Gary Anderson and Jonny Clayton getting through his first round match against Martin Schindler. And after his win against the German #1, I caught up with the Ferret backstage for a chat. Thank you. Having a bit of fun with Jonny Clayton backstage as he beats Martin Schindler 10-7. He will take on Mike De Decker. The second round's really starting to take shape now. We can just go through it with Paul Nicholson here from the top of the draw. Of course, there'll be the last 4 first-round ties tomorrow night here live on talkSPORT 2 from 7 o'clock. But so far, the confirmed second-round ties are an all-Dutch affair. Ian Danter against Danny Noppert. Wessel Nijman against James Wade. Gary Anderson will take on the winner of the next match on stage here tonight, Stephen Bunting against Ryan Joyce. Jonny Clayton, who you've just heard from, will take on Mike De Decker in round 2. As we just mentioned, Luke Littler, Jermaine Wattimena is confirmed, and Andrew Gilding against Dirk van Duijvenbode. And then we'll sort out the other 2 round of 16 ties tomorrow night. Give us your thoughts on what I've just read out there, Paul.
So far, what we're seeing in round 2 this year is a very different flavour to previous seasons. A lot of matches that you might see in the first round of some tournaments, but second round of the match play, you wouldn't necessarily associate James Wade versus Wessel Nijman or Ian Danter against Danny Noppert. What we're starting to see is a little bit of a shift here. Because of so many seeds being eliminated already, we're getting a little bit of chop suey here, things that you maybe haven't tasted before. But this is a really interesting tournament. When we were trying to predict who was going to come through the draw, we made some bold statements, bold predictions. Some of those predictions haven't come true. But you can't take your eye off this draw bracket, because somebody is going to get a lot of money in this tournament who might just change their next 2 years. That's what happened to Nathan Aspinall 2 years ago. Jonny Clayton did it by making the final, getting a 6-figure check. But people like Wattimena getting his first win on that stage. Gilding, what he did earlier against Damon Heta was heroic. This is a fabulous tournament so far, and standard-wise.
Yeah, and Gilding's made the quarter-final, so it's, you know, he's perfectly capable of going deep in this tournament. And he will take on Van Duijvenbode next, and that is intriguing. That's a very methodical, slow player against a muscle memory, up and atom player in Van Duijvenbode. Two very contrasting styles of approach.
Well, anybody who's been listening to Darts on the radio for the last 7 years, they will know who Dan Dawson is. And during the Premier League, when we were doing things for our talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel, Dan joined us for one of the nights, and it was fabulous to have him as part of the team. And he knows more about darts than most people who walk this earth. But Andrew Gilding versus Dirk Van Duijvenbode is probably the most Dan Dawson game, because he is the resident darts hipster, and that is so him. I think we might have to get him on a leash for that one.
Yeah, he is the darts ombudsman, is Dan Darts Dawson. And he's here stalking the corridors of power backstage at the Winter Gardens in Blackpool. So we do have one more match to come tonight. Let me remind you what we have coming up for you tomorrow night on talkSPORT 2. We're live again from 7 p.m. here at the Winter Gardens for the last 4 first-round ties. Chris Dobie against Ricardo Pietreczko. So Paul's fellow northeasterner, Chris Dobie, Hollywood, in the Premier League this year and acquitted himself well, takes on the German Pietreczko. Those two have never met at a ranking major. Then you've got one of the real fancies for this tournament, Gerwyn Price, who's been winning for fun just lately on the Euro Tour and elsewhere, taking on Daryl Gurney, the World Cup winner. There will be another Dutchman guaranteed through to the round of 16 as Michael van Gerwen takes on Raymond van Barneveld. And then Ross Smith against Josh Rock. Talk about hipster darts. That one has got me licking my lips with anticipation.
Oh yeah, that game, when it was drawn by Russ Bray, everybody thought, yeah, we'll have a bit of that. But I think it's really interesting that Daryl Gurney and Josh Rock are in the same session. They won the World Cup together. Tomorrow night they're going to help each other. Josh will try and help Daryl to beat Gerwyn Price to keep him sharp, and Daryl's going to try and help Josh try to beat Ross Smith. A lot of people fancy Josh to beat Ross Smith tomorrow night in the final game of the first round. Nothing would surprise me. But what we're going to get from this final game of this session is Ryan Joyce, the last person who was able to qualify for this event, up against one of the most popular players in the world. The volume here tonight, it was loud for Littler. It'll be just as loud for Bunting when he does his walk.
We'll get his walk in a minute, will the Bullet. But first up, it's another man from the northeast of England, just like Paul Nicholson alongside me. A man who's reached a Euro Tour final this season, got beaten by Nathan Aspinall earlier on this season. But you leave this man on double 16 and you're going to pay the price. Ryan Joyce, relentless with his signature Tetris dart shirt, makes the walk towards the stage. A very shy man, not one given for hype or trash talking, just a very humble man, just gets on with his job and does very well at it, and snuck into these championships, in fairness, in the 32nd and final qualification spot, and he was nervously awaiting whether players like Ratajski and Smith might overtake him on the line.
I like the way he categorised Ryan there. He's very shy and humble. He's someone who doesn't look at himself as a celebrity. He's just someone who plays darts for a living. He happens to be better than most people on the planet. But this guy, he is a social media sensation, apparently, because he's a TikToker now. But Stephen Bunting has been a world-class dart player for a quarter of a century. And he's still got the best darts of his life ahead of him, having his best ever season on the PDC circuit, winning in multiple arenas all over the Northern Hemisphere. Things are about to get very loud.
Stephen Bunting, the man from Merseyside, gives his young lad a little peck on the cheek as he heads up to the stage. And there you go, the music that everyone loves to sing along to, and he'll get onto the stage just in time to lead a little chorus with those in attendance here at the Winter Gardens. will now shake the hands of the officials and his opponent, and they get set to take each other on for the second time in a row at this World Matchplay. They met last year, and Stephen Bunting needed to go past 9 legs apiece. He won 12-10 in the end in what was a stone-cold thriller.
Really was a good game 12 months ago. Might have to go through it again, but the thing is, Bunting is a better player 12 months on since then. He's been doing things he has struggled to do in his career. One of the best players never to win on the European Tour until he won the International Darts Open in Riesa in March. And the thing that made that more impressive is the fact that in the middle of the Premier League campaign, where he was barely stringing any wins together, he goes to the European Tour and wins a title. And now, after the back of making the top 4 in the world, he's now been invited to the World Series a multiple amount of times. He won in Bahrain at the start of the year, getting arguably the prettiest trophy in the world, little palm tree in gold.
Right, okay.
And then he won the Nordic Darts Masters in Copenhagen as well. He's been a serial winner this year, and if we are going to level any criticism at him, it's that over the course of the last 11 seasons, he's not done that enough. This has been a superb year for Stephen, but at this point, to the end of the year, he can vault his way back into Premier League darts and back into folklore with ranking big wins like this tournament at the Grand Prix or the Grand Slam. What a season it could still be, because we're only at the halfway point of it.
But a reminder that Stephen Bunting has never gone further than the quarter-finals, and that was back in 2019 that he got that far in this tournament. But a change of darts for the heavier equipment. Let's see what it does for him here, like it's done for him elsewhere. Joyce gets us underway. He's got the darts, and Bunting comes downstairs at the start of leg one, picks off a couple of treble 19s. Joyce, who has this style where he draws the dart back to the middle of his forehead before letting it go at the board. It's down to 3-5-7 after 6, but Bunting's only 10 points behind, having launched just 3 darts at the board.
Yeah, make no bones about it, Dance. Stephen Bunting's record at the match play is terrible. I'd like to give it a kinder word, but I'm sorry, but the truth is, he's played 14 games, he's won 4. He's been coming here since 2014. He made his debut against Gary Anderson, and it didn't go well. Since then, he's been constantly trying to fight through. Mentally, he is as better a player as he's ever been, and that's why he's succeeding. And with the slightly heavier darts, actually heavier by 50% than previously, he's found a formula that works. And he's got 170 here after 9 darts, and he could well break Joyce in the opening leg.
And he went with a treble 1 at the start of that visit, and he hits another treble 1 with his second dart. 26 scored. Bed and breakfast in a slightly different way of doing it.
I wonder if there's any bed and breakfasts in Blackpool that still charge 2 and 6.
We'll have a look tomorrow, shall we? So, slightly easier target, but not much. 144 for Bunting, with Joyce waiting on 137. That won't go. 144 for the bullet. So Joyce with a chance to hold throw, but 137's a tricky outshot.
He's going to try and hit the treble 19. He's got it. He might go for 16s here. He's decided to go tops. He's going to go tops. He's missed the first one high. I don't get that, because he doesn't like tops. When you like double 16 the way he does, he should have gone treble 16 for double. Stephen's on 86. He's got 118. He's got 3 more now. Double 7 for the first leg. He's just underneath that. And Ryan, who found a single 16 with his last start in the previous visit, has now got 64 to take the first leg.
So he will hang around that section of the board he loves so much. Double 16. Well, normally so reliable, just on the outside of it. And Bullet has a reprieve. Will he stay on double 7? He will, you know. He's a good inch outside. Now he's going to split it. and go 6 for double 4 and misses. He burnt a dart with his second dart, and Joyce is back in for 2 16s.
He's not going to miss this time. First dart just on the outside, kisses the barrel into double 16. Rule number 1 of playing Ryan Joyce: keep him away from double 16. If there was a meteor coming to Earth and
Don't look up.
double 16 had to be hit with 3 darts in hand to save the world. Ryan, are you busy? Can you hot-foot it to this dartboard just to keep this meteor at bay? He's the only person you'd call.
Well, it's a real mucky start to this game. I tell you the averages that both players are hitting, but it's not pretty, so we'll let this game settle down and see what happens over the course of this mini session of 5 legs before the first comfort break.
We have seen a few players coming into their first round matches here using different things. Even Luke Littler with a new dart shirt tonight, looking very swanky. But Joyce this season decided to go away from a pear-shaped flight to a kite-shaped flight, which is a little bit broader at the top, sharper at the bottom. It has yielded better results on stages, usually reserving his best stuff for the floor in Players' Championship events, of which he's won a couple in his career. This year, what we've seen from Ryan is a big change in output on the European Tour stage. He made the final at the European Darts Trophy in Göttingen, and he made the semi-finals at Graz in Austria. Hugely impressive, but maybe his floor form needs a bit of improving over the next few months. But here at the match play, he would like to get a first win in this tournament, because after a couple of tries, he hasn't got one yet.
Yeah, 3 attempts to get to round 2, including last year's defeat to Stephen Bunting by 12 legs to 10. Bunting's down to a finish of 154, which won't go, but Joyce is way back on 2-4-1 in this second leg. Race to 10, as always in these first round ties. And Joyce trying to get down to a finish, and should, and does, with a steady ton, but Bunting wants 20 tops to level things up.
Single 20 incoming, gets it. Middle portion, so has to move left on the hockey to open up the tops, and that's perfectly pitched. And everything that happened in leg 1 is confined to the history books. 1-1 on talkSPORT 2. Stephen Bunting, the number 4 seed, and currently number 4 in the world. Will he continue to be world number 4 at the end of the tournament? Time will tell.
Joyce with the darts in leg 3. Scores himself 97. And the bullet, who, despite having slightly heavier darts, still really launches the dart at the board with a lot of violence. More of a floated dart that Joyce sends to the board. So what of Bunting's number 4 world position?
He's comfortable at this point in time at world number 4. If he were to win the World Matchplay and Raymond van Barneveld were to beat Michael van Gerwen tomorrow night, Bunting could get to number 3, which would be a personal best. But in a live sense in the world rankings, do you know who the provisional number 5 is? It's James Wade. Someone who has never been world number 1, and he was in the low 20s not that long ago. His bounce back, it's happened.
And he takes on Dessel Nyman in round 2, does James Wade. And that MVG Barney match will be live on talkSPORT 2 tomorrow night. Make sure you're with us for some Monday night darts on the radio. Gather it's a fitter, leaner Michael van Gerwen that's travelled here for these championships. After a difficult 2025 for him on and off the hockey so far.
Yeah, he's been very generous to other people in the past as Michael. I think it's time for him to be a little bit selfish for himself moving forward. It might take a little bit of time for him to get used to that. Joyce is on 170 here at 1-1 in this final match of a double dose of darts on Sunday. That's a scrappy visit there from Ryan. Only 44 scored all around the board there, really, till he won 2-6, but at least he's going to get a look at that. Stephen, after 12 darts, is on 2-2-7, and the scrappy nature of this game continues. even though he does recover very well with 2 treble 20s at the end of that visit to leave 102.
We've only had one score of 140 and no maximum so far from either player. Joyce looking for 126, it won't go. He's laid up for a 2-dart finish to 68, but Bunting to break throw wants 102.
Looking at the 60 and gets it right in the heart. Goes for a 10, but hits a 6 and it's double 18. Well, it's a ton plus checkout, but he gets it in a scrappy way because he was going for double 16. He wanted to leave it, but instead of hitting a 10, he edged into the 6, had the bonus shot at double 18 and found it, so he is 2-1 up with a break of throw. Strange old game, and I suppose we expected this one to have quality again, just like all of the matches we've seen. I suppose we're due a bit of a stinker.
And so far it is a real slog, particularly for Ryan Joyce. And Stephen Bunting has that early break in this race to 10. 2-1 up then on talkSPORT 2 and the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. Ryan hasn't beaten Bunty for over 2 years. It was a Players' Championship meeting in early 2023. 3 meetings since, including the World Championships in December of that year, that Bunty won by bageling Ryan Joyce 3-zip.
Boy, did he play well in that game. Stephen's very much a student of the game. He's just hit the first maximum of this match to leave 81 after 9 darts. He's starting to churn now. He knows he's beaten Joyce the last 3 times he's played him. Went for the 57 down south in the 19s region, got a single. Had the luxury of going for the treble 10 and missed it. But the big 20 with dart 3 leaves him on the 32 this time to take the lead by 3 legs to 1. Joyce way back on 205. It's a very scrappy looking 92. With Bunting on 32 should be taking a 2-leg cushion here.
Inside double 16, but right next door is double 8, and he pins that. 3-1 to the number 4 seed. And Ryan, there's a look on his face that says, I've got to get shifting, and quickly.
Yeah, you've got to get cracking, lad, as we'd say up at the Marlborough Club in Newcastle, if it's still there. Haven't been there for a while. You know our good friend Tim Vine, who loves to play darts?
Evening, Tim, if you're listening.
He likes to tune in. Stephen Bunting's got a 2-leg cushion here. You know that Tim's actually got a literal 2-leg cushion. It's a cushion with 2 legs on it.
I think he mentioned that to us when we were with him down in Sutton United.
That's correct.
Late last year. At a little fun event he held where he challenged all comers to come to Sutton United and beat him in 1 leg.
You got a 2-leg cushion, Dance?
I'm afraid I don't. No.
Sort that out by Christmas time. We'll get you one.
Thank you very much. It's what I've always wanted. Leg 5, so there'll be a short comfort break for both players after this. And there's a look in the body language of Ryan Joyce that says, I need this comfort break to reset here, because Bunting has got a chance with a maximum incoming. No, 140. He might be able to break again to go 4-1 up. There's only 2 points in it after 9 darts apiece.
Yeah, Joyce has got 180 left here. He was high on the first dart and had to look for a switch. That's quite intelligent to go to the bullseye with the last dart to get him to 116. He'll feel like Indiana Jones right now with the walls closing in. He's got to find the combination to the puzzle. That puzzle involves 116, 4 20s and double 18. He'd like that route. There's 3 20s. There's 4, double 18, and he solves the puzzle. He doesn't have a hat. He doesn't have a whip. There's no Temple of Doom because Ryan Joyce has cut the gap to 1. Considering the standard of play in the first 5 legs of this last match of Sunday's double session, I think Ryan Joyce will be very, very pleased indeed that he's only losing by 3 legs to 2 at the match play on talkSPORT 2.
We are your home of darts on the radio. talkSPORT 2 at the PDC World Matchplay 2025. Ian Danter and Paul the Asset Nicholson with you. And Ryan Joyce of Newcastle upon Tyne, despite a match average of 78 up to this point, is only one leg behind the bullet and number 4 seed Stephen Bunting, who leads 3-2, but does have a break at this first mid-session interval. Don't forget, talkSPORT is also your home of the Women's Euros in England against Italy. The Lionesses in that semi-final Tuesday night on talkSPORT from 7 p.m. with Adrian Durham and the team out there in Switzerland for full live commentary.
You think there's going to be an air of revenge, considering that Italy beat England on home turf back in 2021? Is that narrative going to come around, do you think?
That's very true, with that penalty shootout at Wembley Stadium. So that game is live on talkSPORT on Tuesday night. We wish the Lionesses all the best in it.
Absolutely, they've played really, really well.
But we will be here on Tuesday night bringing you the second round as that gets underway, and then right the way through the week. Every night of the week, make an appointment to join us at 7 p.m. for every session, including Saturday night, and then Sunday we'll also bring you the Women's World Matchplay in the afternoon. Bo Greaves looking to defend the title that she won last year, and then the final Sunday night, whoever it may be between.
Bo Greaves is an overwhelming favourite for that tournament. Considering this is only the 4th time it's been held, she is so much of a favourite that other girls are not even being considered at this point.
Yeah.
But
and Lisa Ashton's in there, Fallon Sherrick's in there, Lorraine Winstanley's in there. But Bo has just been hoovering up titles this year, whilst Ryan Joyce is starting to hoover up a maximum or two as he gets his first of the night to match Bunting at the start of leg number 6.
Here comes Bunting trying to get a max of his own. George Noble tells you what he got. That was a maximum, and I get the feeling this session's going to be a little bit better than the previous one. It wasn't bad.
No.
It's just, considering the standard we've seen over the last day and a half, this is not the best of the bunch just yet.
Might have said that first session was a little pedestrian. But Bunty trying to hold throw, knowing that Joyce started with a maximum, so pressure's on early on in this 6th leg. He's down to 1-2-1, Bunty. What can Joyce do from 2-6-1? Lovely first start. Can he get another max this leg? Not quite. Just under pitches that final dart, but a 140 leaves him on 1-2-1, just like Bunting, who gets first dibs.
Yeah, neck and neck. Stephen starts on the bull and gets it, goes for the treble 13, misses just to the right hand side, but lays up for tops with a nice single 18. Joyce is going to go a different route on 1-2-1. He's got a single 20, now he needs a treble 17 and gets it. Bullseye, loves the bull, but not on this occasion. He's just low and just over the single 19 in the 25 there. Bunting now on tops, 3 darts in hand to embellish his lead at 4 legs to 2. Misses it low. Double 10 is missed left. Double 5, Jonny Clayton's favourite, and definitely not Stephen Bunting's, because he's missed it miles high.
Just in case you're not aware and you didn't hear the interview earlier, slightly ironic from Jonny Clayton. 9 for double 8 for Ryan Joyce. Oh, he's busted it. He's hit double 16 next door.
He's so good that he hits it when he doesn't even need it. Oh, Ryan, what have you just done? You're 3-2 down and you're most likely to be 4-2 down. Double 5, Bunting finds it this time, and the number 4 seed is so good, he's actually dodging bullets.
Well, Ryan Joyce will hopefully not let that play on his mind too much. Had a few instances of darts going the wrong way. We had Rob Cross having a dart fly out of his hand the wrong way and hand the initiative to Dirk van Duijvenbode.
Do you know what it's called in darts when you've got a certain shot and you go into the next double bed? We call it Goldilocks.
Okay, I like that.
Someone's been sleeping in my bed.
Another max for Joyce. It's his throw in leg 7. So it's 2-2 in the maximum count.
Yeah, treble 1 start here for Bunting. 406. Plenty of Stephen Bunting shirts here at the Empress Ballroom in Blackpool. Super popular on social media. One of the nicest guys you could ever meet. If you sit and have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea with Stephen, he's really funny, really dry, super friendly. He's a family man. His young lad Toby is a really good player too. Starting to play junior darts now. Darts is becoming a family business.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Now and again. Now Joyce wants double 10. Picks that off very nicely indeed to go down to 4-3 now in favour of Stephen Bunting. Joyce gets one back. So the opposite side of the board to where he's most effective. Did him a favour there on double 10, Ryan Joyce.
Sometimes if your first plan is not working, you've got to find something else that works. And in this second session, the treble 20 bed has been better for Joyce because his darts land very flat in the board, and he's trying to stack the darts in the board the way that Taylor used to do when he was winning 16 of these. He's better off when the treble 20 is hit in the bottom half. If he misses, slightly underneath.
Well, his average has gone up 10 points since that leg 5 break, and he's right in the centre of the treble 20 bed again. Drifts into treble 5, but readjusts for a 1-3-5 score. And now Stephen Bunting probably knows he's got an opponent to worry about here, because he was able to keep Ryan Joyce at arm's length, even though it was only 3-2 at the break. You felt that Bunting was in control. Not so much now. Joyce is starting to find that treble 20 with more regularity from 2-2-9. Again, it's a 1-3-5, successive 1-3-5s from Relentless, but he's down to a 2-dart finish.
Yeah, he's starting to churn now, and if he keeps churning this way, he's going to make butter. 94 that Geordie has left, and Bunting's got a dart on the floor. Wow, that was a wild deflection. Didn't hit the board, it actually hit his own barrel, and the flight came out. But he still leaves 170 just in case. Joyce 4-3 down, but 94 for him. He's got a small 3. Trying to go for the centre of the board, so 91 left. Has to be treble 17. Misses it by a good 2 centimetres underneath. And then a small 14 to leave 60. So Bunting is going to have to dig deep here. 170, taking a 5-3 lead. All 3 darts will have to be in the board this time.
They're not going to be a 170 checkout in this instance.
90 seconds.
He's got it down to a 2-dart finish, but Joyce wants 20 for tops. And he's not a prolific tops hitter, Ryan Joyce. And he's above, and it's slightly blocking the bed. But great dart! Great dart from Ryan Joyce to find tops when that second dart was hanging over the bed, obliterating a good third of it. Fantastic finish to get it back to 4-all. We're back on throw on talkSPORT 2.
Remember 25 years ago when we used to make games up at home when you were bored, and you'd try and stack the DVDs on the shelf, and one of them might be hanging off the shelf, and you think, I bet I can hit that shelf with this without knocking that off. That's what that shot was like by Joyce. It was so precise, you might as well call him Dr. Joyce. It's 4-4. We've got fans from all over the place in Blackpool, and somebody somewhat courageously had a sign saying Burnley. Do you know where you are, pet?
That's where the booze came from, seeing that come up on the Jumbotron screens around this beautiful venue, the Empress Ballroom.
I think those ladies might be from the Bank of Dave.
Maximum for Bunting. It's on the Joyce throw, so a chance to break again, just as Joyce gets himself level. Joyce coming down to the 19th and can't find one, picks off a treble 7. So Bunting has the advantage in this leg. Can he make it count?
This really is a swaying game right now. Advantage Bunting. Then all of a sudden Joyce gets back into it. It feels like it's going back towards Bunting a little bit now. This game is going so back and forwards, it feels like the pirate ship in Metroland.
I never liked that. Never liked that ride.
Made you feel a little bit sick.
Oh, very queasy. More than the waltzers, and I hated the waltzers as well. So Bunting from 2:04 trying to get down to a finish. Joyce is on 189 for the leg. Great 140 from Bunting. Brilliant stuff to get down to 64 for the leg.
Proper 140 that, wasn't it? Really gutsy one. Joyce needs something to leave a doable finish, and that was not very intelligent whatsoever. That was not good board management from Ryan. 58 to lead 131 was bad. This 64 for Bunting, just to compound the pain. Double 16, found by Stephen. The number 4 seed doing the right thing at the right time there, just to make Ryan Joyce feel even worse. He's now 5-4 down.
So another break, and a chance then for Bunting to go in at this next mini break with a 2-leg advantage. He had a 3-2 lead going in to the first comfort break, and now he has the darts in leg 10.
Have you ever read Bridget Jones' Dance?
Yes, I went to see the last film.
Was that any good?
Yeah, it was all right actually. Yeah.
Bridget in the original movie starts talking about mini breaks and how all girls want a mini break. Well, dart players, they're not fans of mini breaks because they want to stay on the stage.
Certainly Luke Littler looked like he wanted to stay on the stage after the first 5 legs against Ryan Searle tonight. And a maximum from Bunting just at the right time against Joyce. But Joyce trying to come back with a max of his own. Comes down to the 19s, and 139 will have to do.
Yeah, there's no bit of bother here. He's staring 6-4 down at the break in the face. Stephen's starting to knit something together, like Mace would say, knit one, pearl one. Knit that! 1-4-5, and it hits exactly where it hurts for Ryan Joyce. 9 darts thrown, Bunting on a 10 darter, and even with that 1-2-8 from Joyce to leave 100, Bunting is in charge to be 2 ahead at the second break.
Double 18 is hit with cool efficiency, and it is a 2-leg lead that Stephen Bunting has at the second interval. 6-4 he leads, 4 more legs for the number 4 seed, and he'll be through to the second round of the PDC World Matchplay, where he would face the Flying Scotsman Gary Anderson, who won earlier tonight. Can Ryan Joyce mount a comeback? You'll find out with us next here on your home of darts on the radio, talkSPORT 2. Thank you. And Stephen Bunting and Ryan Joyce are playing out the final match of this evening session on day 2 of the World Matchplay. There's nothing like knowing you're back at the darts when there's a sing-along to Angels at full volume and everybody joins in. Stephen Bunting 6, Ryan Joyce 4 in this first round encounter for the right to meet Gary Anderson in the next round in midweek. Every match live on talkSPORT 2 and the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. From the 32nd World Matchplay, which has been held every year but one at this brilliant, iconic venue.
And after a lot of chatter about the World Championship moving from Ali Pali to a bigger place or even to Saudi Arabia, this is not moving anywhere. If there's one place that has held folklore and will remain to hold it no matter what happens, the World Matchplay is going to be here forever. That's not changing. So don't even think about moving at PDC. You know it makes sense.
So we're into leg 11 and Ryan Joyce has the darts, and a couple of 60s from Ryan again has given Bunty a chance to steal a march on him in this leg. And a first dart right in the middle of the red bit, followed up by one more but not quite two more. But the bullet is launching those darts with violence at the board and getting results.
Yeah, he's definitely starting to iron out the creases of the earlier part of the game. The timing of that 10-darter to win leg 10, funnily enough, to give himself that two-leg cushion, and he's just back where he was before. Throwing from the right-hand side of the hockey, angling the darts in, with a slight kink to the right-hand side when they hit the board. The 18-gram tungsten doing a fabulous job. He's on 1-2-1 after 9, and Joyce is losing ground already. If he doesn't turn this around soon, Bunting is going to have him as a midnight snack. 25 to start the 1-2-1 combination. He doesn't get the treble 20 though, he's just a little bit underneath, but somehow gets past it cleanly to leave double 8. What a dart that was. That was as good as Johnny Clayton's double 5.
Joyce trying to apply the pressure with a 140 scored from 223. He's on a 2-dart finish, but again it may all be in vain. Bunting wants 2 8s. He's inside, so across the double 4. Pins that, and it's 7-4 to the bullet on talkSPORT 2.
You've just given me one heck of an idea, Dance.
Why? What have I done?
Gian van Veen is playing in the next round against Danny Nopper.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Gian van Veen walk out to "He's So Vain"?
Oh, Carly Simon. A song written about? Carly Simon wrote that song about which movie star?
Well, it was from the... It was in the movie... is it with... Oh,
with the
Matthew McConaughey.
No. It's written about Warren Beatty, apparently.
Oh!
You're So
yeah,
Vain.
the legendary kisser.
Yes. There you go. Every day's a school day. You weren't expected to learn that on day 2 of the Winter Gardens World Matchplay.
Well, he's probably going to walk out to it because he's not vain. He's just vain by name, not by nature.
Most definitely. He needs a proper nickname anyway, doesn't he?
Yeah, GVV's not going to cut it.
No. Now, relentlessly, Ryan Joyce is struggling. Down to only 401 after 6 darts. Bunty's already down in the low 200s and going to set up a finish when he's next back at the hockey.
Yeah, his cover shots are starting to work now. 2 treble 18s there. Off the back of a single 20 to leave 110. Joyce is so far away in this leg, he might as well be back on the River Tyne. Bunting 110. He's got a minimum of 6 darts for this. Small 20, goes to the treble 18 and gets it again. And the double 18 is just on the underside of the requisite bed, clipping the wire on the wrong side. 18 left when he comes back for an 8-4 lead. Joyce all the way back on 267.
So Bunty maybe, most definitely, surely will split 18, so he doesn't have to go for double 9. Maybe he will, I don't know. No, he's looking down at the bottom of the board. He's looking at 2 for double 8. pins double eight. Very efficiently done by Stephen Bunting, whose average is creeping up and up and up and up, inexorably towards 95 and possibly towards 100 by the time we're done with this first round encounter. 8-4 up, 2 more needed to get through to round 2 here in Blackpool.
There's a lot of chatter on the PDC Tour these days about how they play a lot of the same formats week in, week out. And they do. And you see a lot of those 180s from Bunting, because that was 3 darts completely moulded together. Now he's averaging 96. But isn't it funny how Joyce doesn't look comfortable at the Winter Gardens? He made his match play debut in Milton Keynes in 2020 off the back of his first title win at the Summer Series, beating Dave Chisnall in a final. What's Stephen up to here? 6 perfect darts is what he's up to. Something is missing from the first weekend of this year's match play. I wonder what it could be. It starts with an N, it ends with an E. We want it to be in.
So, treble 20, got it. Treble 19. No, he misses it underneath. 7 perfect darts, but he has set up a 10-darter.
Come on. He's on 32 after 9. Joyce, however, might steal the leg on 96. Oh, yeah. Get a load of that, Blackpool. Bunting needed the 9 to win the leg. Joyce gets a 12 with a 96 kill to make it 85. All of a sudden, this game has caught fire.
Brilliant checkout from Joyce. We'd forgotten about where he was in the leg, so enamoured were we with Bunty's treble hitting. But here we are at 8-5.
What a leg of darts that was.
Was a brilliant leg of darts.
Bunting was on his second 10-darter of the game, and he didn't even get a look at the double.
However, Joyce has not hit a ton with his first visit. He's got to break the Bunting throw. He's got to start eating away at this 3-leg advantage. So he's going to have to break Bunting twice. And he's not going about it with hitting trebles as much as he would like. 3-4-6 plays Bunting's 2-7-6 after 6 darts apiece.
Ryan Joyce looking at his hand when he was going to the board there, flipping it up and down, saying to me that maybe he's feeling a bit uncomfortable in that department, maybe a little bit of heat fluctuation in the extremities, which does tend to happen when you go from a chilled atmosphere to a hot atmosphere, or vice versa. Bunting after 9 this time is not on 32, he's on 142, but with a 3-leg cushion. I don't think Tim Vine's got one of those. I think Bunting might have one, which is actually better than that, which is a 4-leg cushion potentially, which is 2 2-leg cushions.
Well, do let us know, Tim, if you've got a 3 or 4-leg cushion to go with the 2 that you showed us. Joyce from 2-4-7 looking for a max. He finds one. That's good pressure on the Bunting throw to try and break. He's down to 67. Bunting wants 104 for the leg to go 9-5 up.
Small 20 needs 84 more, and he's got a treble 16, double 18. Just a little bit high on this occasion. He was low the last time he went for it. Joyce's brilliant big score before this leaves 67. That's a 17. It's going to be 18 all day. Double 16 he needs, his best mate, and he's missed it. That was a big chance to get within 2, and you fear the worst, that maybe Bunting is 9-5 up in a second.
Inside double 18. Is he going to split or go across to double 9? He's going for it, and he's split double 9. So the chance and the initiative is back with Joyce. He looked like he was going to split for a moment there, Bunting, and then elected not to.
Turning point. Joyce has got 32. First one misses. Second one's in, of course. You might as well have just sent out on a postcard about a week ago and said, I'm going to hit it. It's going to be 8-6. He's that good on that bed. 14 legs in. Bunting could have been in the distance had he clicked 36 with 2 visits, but he didn't. He's missed 12 darts at a double in this match, and Joyce is still kicking here, and there's one of those breaks to throw that he needed.
Now he needs to hold. 137 gets him going at the start of leg 15.
There's only a few more days left of George Noble's match play career. I'm starting to get I don't like this. Why do people have to retire? Russ Bray went last year.
Yeah.
George Noble's retiring this year. Just stick around, lads.
Well, he's been such a wonderful caller of darts. Key matches over the years, George Noble.
Do you know what we need, Dance? We need a really good female referee. We don't have any.
That would be nice. That would be very nice to have that in this day and age. That's very nice from Ryan Joyce to get what is his 4th maximum of the night and get down to 44 to get back within a leg of the bullet.
Yeah, interesting stuff. 15 legs in, there could be 1 leg between them. After 5 legs, Ryan was averaging about 76. Now he's averaging about 93. Double 8 hits it, and that corner of the board that he adores more than anything else has cooperated. That 12 dart leg from Ryan Joyce, taking 44 with the last visit, gets him within 1. But the one banking thing that Bunting has is that he still has a break of throw. That 180 start gets him exactly what he needs, which is a little bit of gas between himself and the charging Ryan Joyce. Team Bunting loving that one, but Joyce is going nowhere. Starts with a 140.
Yeah, it's a decent start, but what can Bunty do to follow up that max? He had 7 perfect darts earlier on his way to a 9, only 3 perfect darts.
I love this tournament. Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
It's so good that even the bad games turn brilliant.
Yeah.
This was not a good game after 5 legs. It's turning into a belter.
Joyce is up for another ton 40 here and gets it. So it is nip and tuck. 4 points in it. Bunting 225, Joyce 221. But great first couple of darts from Bunty. 2 treble 20s and another max. Brilliant. Finding his form when it matters most.
Yeah, that was his 8th of the contest. He's got twice as many as Ryan, who's been the better player over the last 3 legs. But in these spots, Stephen Bunting is dynamite. Ton there from Joyce till he 1-2-1. But this time Bunting is better off after 9 on 45. He's got the single 13, double 16 for him. Misses it just on the inside, has a little adjustment for double 8 north. Misses. Somebody whistled on Bunting's throw there. Disgusting behaviour from the audience. Just one bad apple out there, and maybe this is going to be 8-8.
If Joyce can hit treble 17, he's got the bullseye. Missed it earlier, missed it there as well, just left. A reprieve for Stephen Bunting.
7 you require 8.
So double 4 for Stephen Bunting to go within 1 of the second round. On the wire, on the outside, great marker. Too far inside, double 2 for Bunting, and he's inside that. Double trouble at the worst possible time for the bullet.
Joyce almost apologetic at the fact that he's coming back for 25. Double 8. Is this his best friend again? You bet it is. This is unbelievable, this game. Everything's changed. We are so close to extra legs again, just like the first game of the day.
Ryan Joyce has fought, scrapped and snarled his way back to 8-all against the number 4 seed and starts leg 17 with a ton. Can Bunting match it or better it? Matches it.
Bunting is a little bit rattled, and I don't blame him. He's human. But if there's one thing he's taught himself to do, it's to be resolute in moments like this. Level after 16 legs, and Joyce's scoring has been transformative over the last 15 minutes. 264 for him. He's got the darts, maybe not for long. Bunting, 140 gets him onto 261. There are 3 points between them in the whole game.
Joyce needing a treble here to get down to a finish. 264, he's got 40 points. Can he split those 2? Oh, he's hit treble 18. That's nicely done to get him down to 170. Big dart from Joyce there.
Absolutely. Do you know how many points were separating Damon, Heta and Andrew Gilding when they played 22 legs earlier? 10 points in the entire game. That's every single score. This game isn't far off. Bunting's left 121. Joyce is on 170. He's not going to take it. He's short of the 60 on dart 1, but he adjusts perfectly. Last dart is a single 1. That was a bad dart. Bunting 121. This for a break of throw dance. This is massive.
Is he going bullseye? He is. Hits the 25. Went for treble 20 for double 18. Hits a small 20. So Joyce has a chance. A 2-dart kill. Can he hit treble 19 for his favourite double 16? Here we go.
If he gets the treble, he's going to win this leg. But he doesn't get the treble. He does get the treble 20. Now it's double 5. Oh. And it's just over the top. It was so close. Bunting gets a reprieve on 56. It's for a break of throw to be 9-8 up, to have the chance to serve it out in leg 18.
16 hit, tops he wants. Over the top, 1 dart left in hand, finds it. A little yelp from the bullet, and he's 1 leg away from victory. He breaks Joyce again, and it's 9-8 on talkSPORT 2.
My word, that was such an impressive tops from Stephen. Not too far from where he grew up. If you go down past Southport into Merseyside, that's his neck of the woods. Talk about Lisa Ashton wanting to win the ladies match play here, Littler wanting to win here, Chisnall wanting to win here. This is also a little bit of Bunting country, maybe in a slightly different county though. But that's the way you start possibly the last leg of the match. Bunting with a 9th maximum. If he serves it out here, there'll be a big sigh of relief, but boy, is he being pushed by Joyce.
Didn't look likely. At 6-4 when we started the final session, Bunty started to pull away, but back came Joyce. 4th dart is not another treble 20.
I wonder if he's going to finish this game on the bull, because then he really would be putting the bull in bullet.
Oh yeah, wouldn't he just? Joyce coming down to the treble 19s, finds 3 of them, very nice, and matches that with the last dart.
Remember 12 months ago when they were playing in the last 32?
12-10 it ended.
12-10, 2 legs between them. It might be the same and a slightly shorter game. Bunting might have had enough of this, you know. 2-2-1, absolutely melting it. That will be his last maximum of this game. That's what he's thinking to himself. He's put in 2 in this leg to leave 41 after 9. And this time, when he's had 3 visits and left a very small number, he is going to get a look at it this time.
And Joyce is not on a finish. So 6 darts from 41 for Stephen Bunting for the match. 9 for double 16. And double 16, Ryan Joyce's favourite double, ends up being the double that sees Stephen Bunting through to round 2. He got there in the end by 10 legs to 8. It looked like it was going to be a rudimentary victory, but Ryan Joyce dug in and got back to 8 legs apiece when it didn't look likely. But then Bunting found that extra bit of quality to get over the line. And 10-8 he finished, Nico.
I just wonder if this test for Stephen is exactly what he needed. It's only his 5th win in the match play in 15 games. His record in this tournament is not good. So to come through a game like that in his best season in the PDC in a winning sense, it shows that when things aren't ideal, he's still got other things in the tank that he can call on. Experience, tenacity, resilience, quality when he needs it. An 11-darter to win it by 10 legs to 8 shows with an exact 98 average over 18 legs that he's got plenty to offer this tournament.
And that was 36 minutes of playing time between those two to get the job done. 10-8 to the bullet, so he will face Gary Anderson in round 2. Great gaming prospect.
Oh yeah,
pick a winner there.
Sign me up. That's just a bowl of quality soup, isn't it?
Isn't it? Just. So the seeds have done better this evening than they did this afternoon. Anderson, Clayton, Littler and Bunting all succeeding where those before them this afternoon, Messrs Heta, Cross, Wright and Chisnall, failed. And so this part of the draw has a slightly stronger look to it. And tomorrow night we will have 4 more games for you. A quick look at those results from earlier. Gary Anderson beating Luke Woodhouse by 10 legs to 5. It was 10-7 Jonny Clayton against Martin Schindler, and then Luke Littler, the performance of the night, very nearly getting the best ever average for 3 darts here at Blackpool, but that remains the preserver Phil Taylor. But an average of just a shade under 110 to see off Ryan Searle by 10 legs to 2, Nico.
Yeah, that was really good from Littler. He looked purposeful as well. From the walk-on to the first and second legs, he looked hungry. And that's nice to see, because you think about some of the things that haven't gone well for Littler this year. He hasn't won a great deal of ranking action. He's played a lot of non-ranked action, like Premier League and World Series, exhibitions in Hyde Park, that kind of thing. He's got a very busy life. He's done massive exhibitions all through Europe as well. I'm sure that when he was sitting down with his team coming into this event, he's saying, right, this is for ranking money. I want to be world #1 at the end of the year. If I want to be that, I'm going to have to get cracking from here to the January the 3rd. Because we have seen from the PDC in the last few days that they've released the schedule for the World Championship, and it's going to finish on January the 3rd again. If he's there on January 3rd, the likelihood is he's going to be world #1. But he wants to be a World Matchplay champion. He wants to tick the Phil Taylor trophy off his list, and tonight was an ideal start for that.
And so let's take a quick look at tomorrow's games before we leave you. You'll be hearing Lions Uncaged very shortly here on talkSPORT 2, giving you all the latest from down under after the British and Irish Lions won that first test against the Aussies Saturday morning. But tomorrow night here on talkSPORT 2, the last 4 round 1 matches will take place. Starting with Hollywood, Chris Dobie against Ricardo Pietreczko. They met for the first time in 2 years back in April on the Euro Tour, and Dobie almost bageled Pietreczko 6-1 in the end, but they've never met at a ranking major, these two. And Dobie, who has this throw that Chris Mason loves so much, it's almost as perfect as can be as far as Mason is concerned.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the checkpoints of Dobie's throw are brilliant. He's a very confident player, and he loves to come to Blackpool, but he's yet to have a huge run here. Maybe things will be different this year, but Ricardo's only just starting to be consistent in making these kind of things. He's making his second appearance. He played well last year, but he didn't get a win. But the 3 matches after that dance tomorrow night, they've all got their own mini story attached.
Gerwyn Price taking on World Cup winner Daryl Gurney of Northern Ireland, one of 2 Northern Irishmen participating tomorrow night. And a 2-time semi-finalist, we shouldn't forget, Daryl Gurney, back in 2017 and 2019.
Yeah, both games went 32 legs as well.
Against Gerwyn Price, who won in Kiel last weekend on the European Tour, and arguably is in the best form, or as good form as anybody else coming into this tournament.
Yeah, Price is in proper form, and a lot of people are tipping him to make it all the way to the championship match, which will be next Sunday night. And you don't want to miss that on talkSPORT 2, that's for sure. MVG versus Van Barneveld is fascinating, not just for darting reasons, but because it's all Dutch. We're going to find one Dutch player actually going out for a change in this tournament.
Yeah, how about that?
Imagine if Michael van Gerwen's the only Dutch player to lose. If Barneveld's the only one to lose in the first round, he's not going to be a happy bunny.
No. And then Josh Rock against Ross Smith is a mouth-watering way to round things off between 2 really strong 180 hitters, and of course another World Cup winner in Rock to round things off. Yeah,
Ross Smith is a great player. Earlier this year, winning a title, and he won the last 24 legs of the tournament. Had 2 9-darters in the same day, and he won his last 4 matches to 0. It's one of the most ridiculous days of darts anyone's ever seen. But Josh Rock, of all of the 21 Players' Championships that have been played this year, he's top of the averages, just shy of 99. More than anybody. Josh Rock is in proper form. He's never won a match play game, but he might win tomorrow. Nico, thank you. And our thanks to Chris Mason and Mark Wilson, part of our team tonight.
Ian Danter signing off. We are back at 7 p.m. tomorrow, both on talkSPORT 2 and the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. Like and subscribe at will, doesn't cost you a penny. But next up on talkSPORT 2, you'll be able to hear Lions Uncaged with all the latest from our team out down under as the British and Irish Lions celebrate their first Test win against the Aussies and prepare for their next midweek fixture. That's next up on talkSPORT 2, but make sure you're with us from 7 o'clock tomorrow night as round 1 completes at the PDC World Matchplay 2025 at the Winter Gardens here in Blackpool. Thanks for your company.
Thanks,
Will.
Will.
Ta-da.